Hey, Cardinals fans, welcome back to the Redbird Rundown presented by I-70 Sports, your home for all things St. Louis Cardinals. I am Jonathan, here with Matt and Andy.
Yeah.
Before we get started, we would love if you would share our show, the Spotify and Apple links with your friends. You can also find us on Facebook, Blue Sky, and Twitter. Today, we are going to recap the games that we had since we last spoke. We are going to check in on our minor league system, which was surprisingly exciting. And we will share what we're going to watch heading into the next week's games, which I'm sure will be super exciting since we're right in the playoff race. Wait, what? Maybe we're not. But before we get into all that fun, we got to check our record and the vibe check. We went 3-2 in the games since we have last spoken. A series against the Marlins, a Florida road trip, right? And a series against the Rays. We have a weird off day today and play the last game of the series tomorrow. So
do you guys know why that is? Why there's an off day on a Saturday?
Inform us.
Yeah, tell me. I have a guess, but tell me.
It is because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are playing a preseason football game this Saturday, and they share a parking lot, and they just thought it would get swamped and unable to get into the Rays versus Cardinals. You know what a hot ticket that is in that region.
Yeah. Wow. I knew it had to be something with that stadium.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that probably
That's not instructive at all. That an NFL preseason game swamps an MLB regular season game. I don't know what's more metaphorical than that.
That's a really good point. The dudes looked just drenched last night in the other game. It looks like it's so hot down there too.
Ugh.
That's got to be just miserable. Okay, so we went 3-2. We could either split this road trip 500 or come out 4-2. So vibe check, Matt. Let's hear it. How do you feel after this little Florida trip?
You know, I started school back, and so I'm going to give you a little Shakespeare on my vibe check today.
Wow.
Okay, the Shakespeare vibe check is: Whither art thou, Jordan Walker? What is going on? Why is he not playing every day? We've been playing a little bit better ball, and I have something to say as we get into these series. But like, come on now. He was on a hot streak. He's had a rough patch here lately, but that doesn't mean bench him. And I get it. I get we've got 85 guys to play 4 positions, and I understand it. But I'm telling you, whither art thou, Jordan Walker? Get the man in there. That's all that matters. The rest of this season doesn't matter. Get him in the game.
I like it. Boo for school. Yay for that. I like that. Andy.
I mean, if you're a teacher, it's not boo school, hopefully.
Yeah,
if you're a teacher, though, wouldn't you rather be on vacation, though, and then you eventually...
I don't know.
At some point, I have to make money.
Well, at some point, I kind of like my job.
Yay,
so
money. Yay, money. Okay,
yeah.
money. All right, Andy, vibe check. Let's hear it.
We caught some Florida sunshine. That's what. So Florida sunshine.
Florida
Helped Jonathan get out of his funk last week. There was some signs of life.
Yeah.
The offense looked like that they knew how to play baseball again. So that's always good. It's always good to watch some wins with some scoring and not we won 1-0, or lost 3-0, stuff like that. So it's fun to see that.
Andy, I got to ask you, 10 years ago, did you think you were going to be potting about random games that the Cardinals playing in Florida on your birthday?
No way.
No.
So I was telling
like
Jonathan
it,
before we started, it's me and the meatball pitcher's birthday today.
Oh, Michaelis?
Yeah. He's 37.
Just immediately knew
I'm
it.
36.
Is there a way to get that federally changed? Can you switch your birthday? Is that a possibility?
Oh, man.
Does that take an executive order? Could you just go to the Social Security office? Because, wow.
Please. Yeah.
At least he's growing the beard in. I have at least felt a little bit better about that, not just the total stash.
I did want to kind of talk about this real quick. Like all chirping aside, right? Because definitely there's room to be chirped at whenever you produce 2.2 innings pitch on 10 hits and 4 earned runs.
I believe your direct quote in the group chat last night was, "I'm pretty sure I could do that."
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I could get close to that. I said pretty close. I think I'd give up a few more hits than 10 over 3 innings of pitch, basically. But as a professional player, okay, real quick, let's be Miles Michaelis for a second. And
nope, I refuse.
He's got to feel the heat, right? Like, okay, if you're the pitcher out there and you have a bad day, today's your birthday. How are you going to process what's happening? Like,
I think if I'm him, I probably open up whatever my bank app is and I look
Yeah.
at it and I go,
That's
yeah, all
what you
right.
personally would do. Like,
I think
forget
so. I
being
think
Miles
so.
Michaelis. Like, this is you out there.
Yeah. Oh, I would feel way worse. I think that
So
he's just
don't
at
you
the
think
end
he
of this.
probably? You don't think
I
he
mean, I,
does?
I think he feels probably bad, but Matt's shaking his head. Okay, you
I
tell me.
don't think so because we
Really?
hear his quotes. His quotes are like, "Yeah, I gave up a couple hard contact, but everything else was soft contact." And he's always
Yeah.
acting like he's just right around the corner from being a great pitcher again. I truly and genuinely, unless it's a complete and total act, I don't think he feels bad at all. I think he feels like he does a pretty good job and he runs into a little bit of bad luck. But you can't just run your way into bad luck for a +5 ERA, Miles.
Hmm.
Like I don't
Yeah.
think so. But Jonathan does have a point. He's getting paid
Well,
$18 million this year, so just go check your Bank of America. You're doing fine.
I do think it is funny though, because you're right. Because his post game
Yeah.
comments are always like, "There was only two balls that broke the sound barrier."
Yes, exactly. We only got the Mach 4 tonight, like what?
Yeah, there's the bat's just gone. It's gone
So
so
you're
fast.
saying like that trope of
Uh,
like there's a way like he has to fall asleep somehow and that's how he does it. Like that's his coping, is what you're saying. Like he truly believes that he's doing okay.
As insane as this is, I actually had more respect for the way Fetty went about it because Fetty would stand there and answer the questions and be like, I'm hurting the team. I have
yeah,
to be better.
it's falling
It
apart. Yeah,
felt like it was
Mm.
eating at him. And
yeah,
Michaelis is just like, whoa, yeah, no, Mach 4, totally fine.
yeah. It was great.
Yeah.
It
Because
destroyed
I
me.
just can't imagine like I'm gonna celebrate my birthday today. I just can't imagine being a professional and be like, yeah, I sucked last night. You
You're
know, I'm
right.
like trying to
Yeah,
deal with that,
yeah.
trying to cope with that and deal with that, work through that of like feeling if I'm sure if I was, I would try to stay away from social media if I was a professional player, but like just to hop on and look at how
Mm.
many memes there are of putting Michaelis's face, my face, if it's me, on meatball packaging and
Uh,
like that's rough, like
yeah.
just as on a human element. But I just didn't know how you guys felt like, yeah, how to cope with the fact that you're not that great.
Well, just to make you guys feel better, I saw a stat that Miles Michaelis now has more starts for the Cardinals franchise than Dizzy Dean does.
Oh,
So it's not like we just haven't re-upped. And if there is one single thing that quantifies the John Mozeliak experience at this end point here that's unfortunately not gone well, it is just re-upping and continuing to put Miles Michaelis on the roster and just continuously, never stopping.
Mm.
yeah, yeah. Does Dizzy Dean have a statue at Busch Stadium?
I think he does. You know what? I'm not going to swear to it, and I may just sound like an idiot Cardinal fan, but I'm pretty sure he does.
Okay. Well, maybe just get the Michaelis one next to him. He'll
Oh
just be
God,
smaller, a little bit smaller.
God.
All right, you want to? Here's my vibe check. We'll get this
Yes.
back into some positivity here. Um, the Newt is loosening.
Mm.
He's not totally loose, although actually in the last like 7 games,
He's pretty
like,
loose.
he's so loose. I don't even know what to compare him to. He's been nuts over the last whatever it's like 6 or 7 games. He's had like
Yeah.
5 multi-hit games. Back in the leadoff spot, swinging more. Something I've
Mhm.
really appreciated. He's
Mhm.
swinging. I saw him the first 2 games for the race. He swung at the first pitch both times. I was like,
Oh,
who is this?
Mm.
yeah.
Wow, okay. That's great though. I mean, he has been on a tear since the All-Star break, which is just going to make all of our roster construction even more confusing on what to do.
Well, let me
Uh,
ask you a question. How far back do you think his rib injury goes then? I mean, because he was he's been really, really bad since late April through since he's come back just now. And they
Yep.
finally put him on the DL. And the Cardinals have this weird thing where they just let guys linger and they don't go on the DL. And so I really do kind of wonder. And granted, I'm super pro Newt, but it
Yeah.
was a weird drop off that he had. So I do kind of wonder sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at Donnie too as a comp. He
Sure.
played hurt. I mean, he has been abysmal since the All-Star break, right? He's been playing hurt this whole time. What are we doing?
I don't know
Put
why
him
we
on
do
the
this.
IL. Just
I
put
have
him
no
on the
idea.
injured list. If
Yeah.
Newt is hurt, put him on the injured list. I don't know, but if this is the version of Newt we get, or maybe you just have, right, just cut it in half, all of the production. I mean, he's been excellent. So
Mhm.
anyway, the Newt is loose. All right, let's get to these games really quick here. The Marlins series. This was a pretty consequential one because Libby was out there. I think we were a little afraid that he was gonna maybe have these velo issues. He did not. He got through 5 innings, didn't see a dip in the velo too bad, and the offense really came to life. So we won 8-3 in the first game. McGreevy pitches the second game. He gave up 3 earned, 4 runs, over 6. And then I wrote our new big three, Swanson, JoJo, and Riley
That's
Frisbee
true.
flinging Brian. Locked it down for the 7-4 win. That's kind of our big three now, isn't it?
It is. It is. They've been good.
Yep. Well, we follow up the big three performance and Libby's performance by Palante going out there and just like aimlessly wandering in the darkness. I don't know what. I put struggles to find his footing. I'm like I can't think of the words anymore. Like what I'm watching with him, it's just he's all over the place.
He's like Michaelis' son, is what it is. It's just in that lineage, a little bit different kind of pitcher, but still pitch to contact, and
yeah,
it's not good.
His ERA post All-Star break is like 8 or 7, something like that. Just disgusting. So we win the Marlins series. I also just want to say with the Marlins series, watching Sandy Alcantara destroy us in that last game, it just feels poetic every time. You know he's got to feel good about that because we traded him.
Yeah.
All right, the Rays series. Again, this has been a weird pitching series. It looks like it's super hot, which tells me that the ball is flying out there, right? The humidity, it's just a good environment for home runs. Sonny gave up some runs. He hasn't been like super sharp all year, but the offense, like you alluded to earlier, Andy, when you were giving us your vibe check, came alive again and scored 7 runs, which was really fun to watch.
Real quick, Sonny thing. He has the highest in the NL strikeout to walk ratio on the entire NL. That's Sonny Gray.
Wow. I mean, I knew he was a K machine, right? But he doesn't walk people. I guess you're right.
Just
it
goes
really
to
just
show,
gets hit
though.
with contact.
Exactly. But if you're striking out a bunch of guys and he gets bit by the home run bug sometimes, but some of those home runs are solo shots and not 3-run shots because Palante hasn't played ping pong all over the place and getting hit. You know what I mean? Like it just it really does make a difference.
No, you're right. That's an interesting stat, Andy. And then we alluded to the game last night. We lost 10-6. Michaelis was just abysmal over 2 1/3 or 2 2/3. The offense didn't just peter out, right? We hit a couple home runs. Nathan Church got into one. That was good for him. Willie, that's 2 games in a row. Willie hit a missile. Yeah. So that was exciting to see. Also, the Rays third baseman, Junior Caminero, hit a home run last night that if in a normal park, I'm not sure where it would have landed because their batter's eye is like 40 feet high and he hit it probably in the like top 5 feet of that. He just absolutely destroyed it. But they flashed his stats. He's hit 36 home runs this year.
Yeah.
And 80-something RBIs and has less WAR than Mason Wynn.
Yes. Defense matters, I guess, you know?
I had to like rub my eyes. Was like, does he have 3.2 WARs? Like, how's that possible? This guy's almost hit 40 home runs.
This is the only thing. This is the thing I want to say about these last 2 series. And granted, neither of these teams are super good this year. But I've been thinking a lot about like 2026, and I just am like, man, is this going to be exactly the same thing as it was this year? And then I started to think like, you know what, though? The template is there. When we get decent pitching, we win quite a few games, especially with this kind of resurgence in the offense. And maybe some of it is Newt is back and healthy, and you've got some guys healthy, and some guys are performing better. You're seeing a little bit more Pozo and a little bit less Pages. So we're leaning into the offense a little bit more. And I just started to think like, now, crazy thought. If you take 2 starting pitchers out of your rotation with a above 5 ERA and you were to replace them with like league average pitchers, we might, you know what I mean? It gave me like a little bit of hope. Like there is kind of a template here.
Yeah. I mean, you take Michaelis to start out last night. We scored 6 runs.
Yeah. You win that game most of the time.
You win that game if Zach Wheeler pitches. Or you know what I'm saying? Something like that. Like,
or Matthew Liberatore. And, you know, like even just a league average guy.
Yeah, or one of the guys we're going to talk about here. What do you say? What do you say we talk about some minor league stuff?
This is far more exciting than the major league team right now to me.
Well, when the broadcast is advertising that the Memphis Redbirds play Saturday at 6, I thought, I know what they're doing now.
Something's going on.
Something's going on. All right, so we got 3 categories here we're going to get to. So who are the fast risers in 2025? I viewed this as literally through the system, like they started in single A and now they're in triple A. And then also just in your eyes, people who have caught your eye that, oh man, like this guy, I didn't know who he was and look at him now. I kind of viewed it as that. Our second category is who could we possibly see next year in St. Louis, like feasibly, right? Probably not going to be like Raniel Rodriguez, which we'll talk about. He's a little young, but there's some guys we could really realistically see next year. And then the last category is who are the guys we're going to see and maybe want to watch going forward. If you care about, the progress of the future, the system. Who are some guys to watch? So let's start with that first category. And who are the fast risers? We'll just go round robin, mention some names. So we'll start with you, Matt. Who, I'm sure you have a few guys. Who is one on your list here?
I looked at fast risers less as in going up the chain and more as in maybe getting national notoriety, maybe kind of landing on the map as a
Yeah. Oh,
prospect.
that's
So
fine. Yeah.
I think it would be silly not to start with JJ Weatherholt, who just is a machine, continues to hit. I'm very heartened by the type of player he is. I've also been extremely excited lately because I saw a report that he has been adjusting for more power and like consciously. And so there's a little bit more swing and miss in his game, but this power that we're seeing in Memphis, these are not like he's just on a hot streak. This is a conscious change he's making.
Yeah.
And so it's made me think like he's a better Donovan too. If he's going to get in the like 30-ish home run kind of situation, that I don't know if it's like the same natural raw power as Junior Caminero, but you could have like a legitimate, not a top of the order bat, you could have like a middle of the order capital G guy here. And it is so interesting to me that he just seems to be able to just do this, right? And he's like 4.5 years younger than the average AAA player, and he's 22 years old, and he's just making these
Yeah.
adjustments and still succeeding at an elite level. That's extremely exciting to me.
Yeah, so a few things about JJ that I want to throw in there just for the listener of like,
Yeah.
where is he? Like, it's one thing if we're like, oh, the Cardinals prospects, but how does he rank across the board, like versus other prospects? So, just a few places that have him, his rankings of where people put him specifically and compared to the other MLB prospects. MLB.com has him at number 6 overall. ESPN.com has him at 14 overall. We have Fangraphs has him at 23 overall, and then Baseball America has him at fourth overall. So some variation there. We got two.
Wow.
It's kind of like two dartboards. Like
Mm-hmm.
two of them have him in the 20s, two of them have him like basically top five. It is exciting though that the Cardinals have someone that we have someone to look to soon, very soon. As in once
Yeah.
we figure out the where he's going to go and the clog of the middle of the infield, like Donnie, Mason, Arnado, like where is he going? It's exciting to know that we're gonna have to make room for a 22-year-old,
Yeah.
to get him in because he is tattooing the ball right now.
Yeah. I mean, that's excellent. That it is kind of funny to see the variation and where people place him. It's so funny how people evaluate. But every one of the national writers when we selected JJ was like, "This is an amazing pick. He is the best hitter in this draft. Pure contact. He can really do it." His 154 WRC plus over all of his at bats in Double A and Triple A is a very heartening thing to see. Like it's real. He can hit. And then Matt, when you sent that purposeful like slugging, I'm actually trying to do it. Like I'm like, this is so awesome. Like he's like
Yes.
he's like legitimately really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
that was
don't know
really
if that's
I'm
early
feeling good about
returns on like our minor league player development or
that. Yeah,
he is just like a special kind of talent, a special kind of guy, because you do read those stories too about him in spring training. And I listened to a podcast he was on, and he has this weird like reflex machine that he goes into, and he journals everything that he eats and all that he sleeps and everything that he does, and he's always constantly like trying to compete with himself and get better. So
Hmm.
I think he might just be like a freak competitor and also have elite talent and skill. And if we're going to marry that with, again, I don't know if what this coaching has done for him, if we're going to marry those things together, let alone he's not even been with a guru yet. You know what I
I was
mean? So
gonna
like
say.
this could be like a really special guy. And the other thing I was going to say real quick on him was I know we kind of have been down this road before, like, oh my gosh, Jordan Walker is the number one prospect in minor league baseball.
No, no, no.
I mean, he was,
No, he
but
was, but this feels
this
different.
feels different to me.
Yeah.
Yes, this feels like a high ceiling, high floor kind of situation. Like you're going to plug him in, and he is not going to. I don't think he's going to struggle long term. I think he's going to be good almost right away.
Well,
That's what I
and
was
the
gonna
thing,
ask you guys. I'm glad you
yeah.
brought that up, Matt. Was like how his WRC plus, all
Mm-hmm.
these stats, like how did it? Because I didn't really follow the minor leagues as a casual fan until this year when you guys made me. No, and how did Walker compare to what JJ is doing right now? Like, do you guys remember? Like, is
Yeah.
it similar numbers? Is JJ a little bit better? Like, yeah, give me that.
I mean, I'm looking at it right now. So Walker absolutely destroyed low A and high A. His low A WRC plus was 208,
Wow.
and his high A WRC plus was 125. So again, that's a percentage over
But that
100.
was
That's
like
better.
19 years old,
Yes,
Yeah.
he was 19. So at
Yeah.
20 years old in double A, he had 536 plate appearances and he was 124 WRC plus. So 20, almost 25% better. 2023, he comes in and he makes a team out of spring training, and he was good in the major leagues, 116 WRC plus, right? That's really fine for a rookie, honestly. He's just has fallen off the cliff since. And the thing we know about Walker is it's the plate discipline. He can't take walks as well. That is one of JJ Weatherholt's strengths is plate discipline. His
And what
walk
was
rate
JJ's WRCP plus again, Matt? What was his?
In the 150s.
154. He's got a similar minor league walk rate to Juan Soto. And that right there is like when you're that confident in AAA, that's really hard to do because they have the challenge system. So walks are hard to come by in AAA. So JJ is just like, I mean, wait till he, like you said, Matt, wait till he makes that walk up the, in Nepal and the Himalayas and he sees, the guru in the distance with the smoke. Who knows what he might turn into.
Exactly.
That's right.
Well, yeah, so his like plate discipline is different, but also Jordan Walker was a high school pick, and Weatherholt went to college, and so
That's a
he's
good
been a
point.
little bit older than Walker has been all the way through, but he's also done it against better opposing talent all the way through. Because I just think there's a deeper track record of success with Weatherholt and a different style hitter than Walker. I still have some hope for Walker, but
Yeah.
I feel very, very, very confident in Weatherholt.
Andy, Weatherholt won a college batting title too, like the best hitter in all of college baseball. So that was to your point, Matt. That's a really, really important differentiator between the two of them. Is Walker is almost like riding that raw talent and crushing people his age. JJ has done it. Like he's played SEC football. You know what I mean? That's why all these guys get drafted so high at football. It's
Mhm.
because they play against the best talent. So yeah, nothing but hype. You could talk about JJ this whole time. I mean, he's just the heir apparent, apparently.
It's amazing.
Andy, do you have a name for us?
Raniel Rodriguez.
Mm.
Uh, so I dove a little bit on this guy, this kid. He really is a kid. So he is from the Dominican Republic, which Jonathan and I were talking about how what an interesting country that is, just in and of itself, geopolitically, of
Oh
the
yeah,
part of the island is war torn, and but they continue to produce so many baseball prospects. It's just quite interesting. And so this kid, he's born in the Dominican Republic. He moves to the States when he's 10 to Philadelphia. He moves back to the Dominican when he's 16, almost 17. And he shows up. This is something that I learned. The Cardinals have an academy in the Dominican Republic. And so this kid shows up. Raniel Rodriguez shows up. No one knew him at all. He even said was quoted as saying, "They say in the DR that I got late to the business." So he himself,
at 18.
yeah, right. No one knew who he was. He shows up and is ripping the ball so much so that
He sounds
Moises.
like a mythic character right now.
That's why yes, it was really. I think that's what I want to impress upon
Okay.
the listener for this kid, because like sometimes you read about prospects and it's just like it's all silver lined and it's
Yes.
fluffy and oh the world is your oyster and that kind of mentality, but like this kid, first of all, he's really good because no one knew he was on no one's radar, and he shows up and everyone's like, who this? Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and the second that I want to impress upon the listener is that when he played at the academy, he played for a couple of different academies down in the Dominican Republic, and a couple of people wanted to sign him as well. Arizona and the Rockies, the Colorado Rockies, wanted to sign him. Rodriguez turns them down because it was all good, he says, but I just told my agent the organization I wanted to be on. And guess what one it was? He wants to be a Cardinal.
Oh, okay.
And that reason that
Pujols.
it's Pujols.
Is it really?
100%. Because
Wow.
of his fondness for Albert Pujols. Yes. So
Yeah.
he
Thank
gets
God the Angels didn't sign him then.
I know. I know.
his numbers are bonkers. Okay, right for
Yeah.
such a young kid, and just I think that's what I impress upon the listener. He wants to be a Cardinal. He kept getting invited back because he was a bit out of shape and the coaches say rough around the edges as a catcher, but just kept bringing him back because he was just absolutely ripping the face off the ball. And so I think that is something that is to be excited about, something that moved up quite a bit. He is on our
Yep.
top prospect list. He
Yep.
is on the top MLB across not just the Cardinals organization, across he is shooting up places where I think a lot of people, so Matt, if we're going to use the metric of like gaining national attraction,
Mm.
people are like in those lists, it's like top 100 prospects. Obviously, the writers are not going to write about every, I mean, that would be ridiculous to write about something about every 100 players. The article would be
Yeah. Right.
forever
Right.
long.
Right.
But almost every single time, Reno Rodriguez is like in the middle of the pack sometimes, like in the 50s or lower, just because he's so young. But in the ESPN rankings, Reniel is like shoved in there with like 20 other players, but they made sure to say something about him.
Wow.
Like that was the blurb was about how good this kid is. So exciting. It could definitely be a lot worse that, we don't have anybody like that. So again, I don't want to add to the, oh, life is your oyster, but th there's something to be excited, especially because we have a good prospect above him as well. So the
Yeah.
catcher situation is going to be interesting, but yeah, we might have ourselves, I don't know, there's something very interesting in Raniel Rodriguez.
Mo loves him. When they asked him when they've asked who's your most, like, who do you look forward to the most in the minor league system, it's him. It's just his age. He's so young, right? You said JJ was 22. He's beaten, you're supposed to be like 25, 26 in AAA. If he continues this, he's going to meet these age curves by a lot.
Yeah, so if
Yeah.
he continues this, Matt, is this the type of player that like you hope the Cardinals dip their foot in the Heim era of like sign him to an 88 million 8 year like lock him
I would
in when
love
he's
that. Well, exactly what the Orioles just did with Samuel
Please.
Basalto. Yeah, I two interesting things about him to me is, and Andy, you brought it up, which is he's the caboose of this Jimmy Crooks, Leonardo Bernal train, and he's coming up in the last. Now he's so young. I'll say
Yeah.
something about that in a second, but what I'm saying is, I think one of the key things that Heim is going to need to do is he's going to need to get this catcher train moving. And I'm so sorry to Pedro Paez, who seems to be a good guy, and we just kind of trash him all the time on this podcast. I'm sure he's a good guy. He also has the same WAR as Alec Burleson now, so like, he is providing some benefit to the team, at least as much as Burleson is.
I just
But
took
he's
the
going to
wind out
need
of me.
he's going to need to get this train rolling, because if this kid continues, he's running a 411 on base and an over 500 slug. So we've got plate discipline, we've got power.
Yeah.
And then I think the thing that's most important to me is sometimes when you're playing in these complex leagues, you'll see guys hit like 500, 600, 700 is their slash line, and you're like, what? Right? But he's doing this in single A ball stateside for Peoria. And I think that's very important, that this wasn't just some flash in the pan of a mythic fog that came into the Dominican and he's just crushing everything. You know what I mean? He's doing it in a more organized, higher
Yeah.
league against guys a lot older than him. So yeah, he honestly may be just as exciting as Weatherholt. He's
Hmm.
just a few years behind the curve of Weatherholt just because of his age.
Yeah. You guys nailed it on Ryan. He is the second most important prospect we have until we start to see Liam Doyle.
Yeah.
When we see Liam Doyle, I don't know if he might, rise above him. I'm going to give you guys two pitcher names, okay? I'm going to give you
Okay.
two. They're
I
both in
bet I have
Double
the
A.
same too.
I'm sure you do. They're both in Double A. And I just wanted to say before mentioning these names, our Double A team is almost 30 games over 500.
Mm.
And
There's a reason.
There's a reason for that. And it's JJ was there.
Yeah.
Bernal
is there.
is there, right?
Mhm.
Josh Baez is there
Mhm.
right now,
Mhm.
and then those are offensive guys. These pitchers are just lighting the world on fire, and
They
this
are.
is how you become 30 games over 500. Matt, you said the guy's name. It's Gian. Is that what you said?
Yes. Ishan.
I like Gian. Ishan Henderson. He is one of them, and Bryson Motts is the other.
Okay.
They're both guys in Double A. They both have around a 10K per nine, which is good, right? That's
Mhm.
almost a strikeout an inning. and below 3.5 walks per nine, which is, again, very, very good. Both way below 2 ERAs, both lefties, both striking out a lot of people. And that is a theme, you could say, across the organization from Double A down to Single A, and even Quinn Matthews, which I'm sure we'll talk about, is left-handed strikeout punch. In my years following the Cardinals, which has been a few now, I do not remember having prospects who do this, and let alone be lefties. Okay. I have never seen that. Matt, you're shaking your head. Do you agree? Like, you haven't seen that
Oh,
either?
absolutely. This is crazy. And it's not even just the lefties. It's just strictly the strikeout punch. And then if you couple it with the fact that there's like 5 left-handed guys that are running huge K per nines in our minors, is crazy right now. And that's without Doyle pitching at all.
Exactly. And he had the most
Who's
strikeouts.
also lefty.
Yeah. I mean, he's supposed to be nuts. So
he's supposed to be already on. He's already made it to MLB top prospects as Liam Doyle. We didn't talk about him at all. You know what I mean? Like, it is insane how many the talent.
And this is what I wanted to ask you guys in bringing up these two names here, is that we've heard grumblings over the past few months that our 40-man roster doesn't really make a lot of sense, that we're not utilizing the guys in AAA, or they're just kind of there to be there. I'm thinking like Jose Fermin or Cesar Prieto, some of these guys that have been there for a while now. Well, when you have a lot of these guys in Double A and Single A, do you guys expect Heim and his new regime to come in and just clean house with AAA, move some of these guys up, re-wicker the 40-man? What do you guys think about that?
I certainly hope so. And no shots against this guy, but we've got a 36-year-old in our rotation right now in AAA, and with these guys in AA, there's just no reason to do that. And I do wonder if, well, first of all, I think Mo's just kind of a slow, risk-averse guy, and there can be some good parts to that. But I also wonder if this just like Springfield talent and Single A talent, it hasn't been this like this. These guys feel like this irrepressible force that we can't possibly keep out of Memphis any longer. And I don't know that we've had a whole lot of that recently. And so you're like the guys we've seen up and down, kind of your Graceffos and your like some of those starters, they're going to get cleared out of the way because these guys are performing at the like younger than their age for the level. Like Henderson is 22, you know what I mean? Like they're really doing it. So I don't know if Bloom will also be kind of risk averse. I hope not as much as Mo, but that's my expectation is next year in Triple A, we may even start with Henderson there and Mott's there. You know, let's get him going. Doyle, possibly even.
He's a polished pitcher. He's going to be at least at Double A. There's no way they're going to put him lower than that. But
right.
Yeah, I don't want to hear from Heim what Mo has said and like, well, there's nobody else to do it.
Depth.
I'm sorry, that wasn't Mo. That was Ollie that said that. But I think that was a dig at.
It was about the roster construction and where we are. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. But like, I don't think that based on what I'm seeing as an entry level person who can look at numbers, I don't think that is got to be the case. Like, give these people a shot. Like, don't say that about the people coming up because there is some fire down in there and it needs to be brought up to see what they can do.
Yeah, I agree. Matt.
Can I add one more name to this?
Yes, I was going to go to you next. Yeah.
So Braden Davis is in Single A and is running a mid-2 ERA. When I checked, this has been a few days since I've checked. He was at 94 innings and 128 strikeouts and is running one of the highest K9s in all of the minors, right? So this is a recent draft pick. I think he was a 4th-round draft pick who is excelling, at least in Single A. Another lefty, just crazy loads of strikeouts. And so kind of similar to our catcher train, right? You've got these guys doing this in Double A, and now we're starting to see some guys crop up with this huge K stuff in Single A too. It's really exciting because this is in part what you need. This is wave after wave of these guys because you're going to have your Takoa Roby needing UCL surgery, and you're going to need some more strikeout punch, right? They're not all going to make it, and so you're going to need more of these than to fill a rotation.
And just to remind everybody here that not every one of these guys will be a starter. I don't think. I don't think it's just going to happen. But if you're Braden Davis and you're running an 11K per 9 clip, and I'm looking at his Fangraphs page, and he doesn't have anything lower than a 12 in his career, really. And let's say you can't stretch out. I don't care. Gordon Graceffo wasn't running his 12K per 9.
Right. This is different. This is
This
different.
is much different, and that is such a heartening shift in this perspective and the way that we're doing things. Is that pitch to contact? You can have it very small amounts, right? Like 20%, 10%. You need guys that miss bats, and I don't care if it's long-term starters or bullpen. Like Liam Doyle, he better come up, and I better see like a 15K per night from him. You know what I mean? Like I can't wait to see more of that because we will win more of these games and be
Yes.
more competitive when you have that.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Andy, you got another name for us?
One more time. That guy's first name. Just spell it. First of
Ishan,
all,
Ishan.
Ishan, and it's
I
Ixan,
It's like
right?
Ivan, but the X is like a sh sound. Ishan.
Ishan. Okay.
Yeah,
English,
All
you
right.
know.
Well, that's a wild name to look at when you
it
see it.
is.
It's like did Star Trek
I
just
hope that
It's
when he's up, instead of that, the K's they hang for strikeouts, I hope they
X's.
put
X's?
X's out there in the outfield. Let's
It's
get
like
that going.
somebody like fat fingered his name when they were typing it, you know, like, oops, sorry.
Bryson? We talked about Bryson.
Yeah,
Mods,
yeah,
Talk
we
yeah.
about
did.
Bryson?
Oh, I
Yeah.
mean, I mentioned him. Yeah, but
Yeah. I yes. I think that uh and somebody that I just wish that he didn't get hurt. You mentioned it, Matt, was
Mm,
Takoa.
hmm
Uh
yeah,
I,
he's on my list too here.
that's a rough one. Man, those we talked about it, those elbows, man, they're like rubber bands, right? You just can't snap those suckers. Hopefully he can rebound from his injury. But that was another one that was like, oof, we got some pitching.
Well, and just to think about Takoa, he's finally was putting it together, right? He finally was putting it together, and he's only 23 yet. So let's say it takes him 2 years, year and a half. He'll be 24, 25. He's in AAA. He was starting to produce in AAA. He's going to come back and be a ready-made, like he's ready pretty soon, I
You
think.
could shift him to the bullpen too. You know, what I mean,
Yep.
he has swing and miss stuff. So
Yep.
again, I think there's just such a difference from this organization when your top pitching prospect is Michael McGreevy, and no shade at him, but what you're hoping is like, okay, he can probably pitch in the majors. Versus it seems like
Yeah.
these guys coming up are like, this is a different dimension, right?
Yep. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I just want to before we move on to some of these other like categories quickly, I got to mention one name. What do you guys, Matt? What do you think of Nathan Church? Like, what do you think about this?
I had him in my who will we see next year, and obviously I'm an idiot because we're seeing him right now. So from what I can tell is his contact profile is just much, 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 much higher than Victor Scott's. And it is interesting because he clearly doesn't have like the demon speed that VS2 does. And so I don't know
Hmm.
that we're going to get that like absolute elite center fielder. He does have a cannon for an arm, but I've been slowly growing a little more disillusioned with Victor because of it seems like to me he's always going to be kind of offensively challenged, like a Billy Hamilton kind of thing.
Yeah,
And so I'm not opposed to looking at Nathan Church if he's going to run a pretty high contact rate. He's not going to have a whole lot of power, but neither does Vic. And so if you're going to run a lot higher contact rate, I don't know. Am I crazy for thinking that?
no, I was just going to give you a stat line. I mean,
Yeah.
he moved from AA to the majors this year,
Hmm.
right? He in 385 plate appearances over AA, AAA. He hit 329, 386 on base, and a 524 slug. That's good for a 143 WRC plus. I'm looking at Vic's profile in the minor leagues. He doesn't have a year over 118 WRC plus, and that was in single A. Now, does that mean I've given up on Vic? No, but the numbers don't lie with Nathan Church. Like he really produced and produced some power too. So it's kind of shocking, honestly. Like when I looked at him, I was like, wow, like he looks kind of helpless right now. I mean, give the guy more than a week, I guess. But
I mean, that home run he hit
yeah,
last night was awful, awful nice looking,
he
I don't
might
know.
just be one of
Maybe
these guys. Who knows?
on a roster that makes more sense, that's a little more cleared out, I think there's room for him because I think he could play all three outfield spots. And again, if he's going to be a high contact guy, I do think there's some value there. There can be.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. I think the same thing. Andy, how about you kick us off with okay, next year in St. Louis? I think there's a few guys we will realistically see. A few.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
I mean, we named the one that will for sure be there. JJ
If we
will
don't
be.
see him,
We riot in the
yeah,
streets.
we do.
I think that we also have a very good chance. We've already mentioned it, but the catching situation, that's also probably a pretty solid lock for like we're gonna see somebody
I think you're
somewhere,
right.
whether it's Jimmy or Leo, probably more Jimmy. Like we will probably see some new blood there. Um, I will put that as my list is for sure. Like we better be 100% or the cash. Like I'm gonna riot. Like let alone you guys who are like Cardinals guys deep into the weeds.
Yeah.
Those are for sure locks of like who we should be seeing. We should see JJ, or I can see what we're talking about with JJ, and then
Yeah.
we should see a new catcher come up this next
I,
year.
I think there's an outside chance that when rosters expand by 2 spots in September, that it wouldn't shock me if we saw Jimmy Crooks in September and they just gave him a week in a row just to kind of get his feet wet at
Mhm.
the major league level because the expectation is I think he's one of your primary catchers next year. He seems relatively ready. He's been very, very good offensively here lately for Memphis. He seems to have turned a corner there. So that's a. I'll add another one in
Yeah.
that I think if I'm Heim Bloom, I'm going to ask whoever I have to ask. I'd like to do a press conference if I'm Heim Bloom before the end of the season. And like the last 2 starts that Michaelis was supposed to make, I'd like to go out and release Michaelis and just announce that Quinn Matthews is going to make those starts. And
Yeah.
I think people would be so happy with him for he would have like years of just goodwill from the fans.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I think we'll see Matthews, especially because the last few starts, I think we're kind of over this injury. The walks have come way down. He's still striking guys out, and he's going almost 6 innings every start. And so I think he's done enough and last year to say that like I think we see him on opening. Not he's not an opening day pitcher, but I think
Yeah.
he's
Right.
on the
Right.
team on opening day in the rotation.
The only thing I could add to you guys, because I largely agree with everything, is I would love to see Quinn now when these rosters expand.
Yeah.
I would love to, like you. I think you mentioned this last week, Matt, where you piggyback some starts, maybe with Libertor if he's having issues with command or velocity, I should say, or Michaelis because we can't stomach the thought of it again, right? Or like just whatever. Like I don't know what Quinn Matthews has to prove in AAA at this point. I don't
Right.
know what he has to prove, and we can easily tack him on, put him in the bullpen, do something, right?
Yeah.
Do a bullpen game. I think we see him. I would love to see him now, but I think those are the names: JJ, Quinn, and Jimmy Crooks. I think like are guaranteed to be seen next
I
year.
also think we'll see Blaze Jordan.
Oh, you do?
In the Luke and Baker, somebody gets injured and he could come up and be a bat. I think we'll see him. I kind of wondered if there was an outside chance towards the end next year if we see Ishan Henderson, if he's really good again in Memphis. I think that's possible.
I don't. I would have to go study Heim's track record and how quickly he pulled guys up, like in
Mm.
Boston or when he was working with the Rays. But I agree with you. If these guys that are moved to Double A to Triple A start lighting stuff on fire, and we have a need, I don't. I don't know.
I mean,
why
is
you would.
Liam Doyle outside of the realm of possibility for this list too? I think we could see him at the end
No.
next year.
Yes, I mean, if he comes in and he starts smoking stuff, yeah. I mean, that's a great transition to the next one here. Andy, do you have any other names that we have not mentioned that are guys you are looking forward, like just looking
I
want to
did.
watch going forward?
I just grabbed the rookie league. All right, so
Okay.
it's DSL,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then
There's yeah,
well, yeah, and there's all sorts of leagues, but
that's one of them.
DSL, yeah, is one of them. And so I went to there, and I just kind of snooped around some numbers to see if they're. I mean, these are like where Raniel Rodriguez should be. Like
Yeah.
they're 18-year-olds, right? Basically, 18, 19 is usually how old these guys are. And there is a guy in the bullpen, Jesus Garcia from Venezuela, and he is like lights out when he comes in from the bullpen. So I always like to see like he's got under one on walks, hits, innings pitched. Okay, he has a 33% strikeout rate. He's only walking 7.5% of the time. So his K to walk ratio is 20, basically 25%.
Wow.
His BABIP is 255. So again, if we go back to the conversation we've had before, it's hard. You hear those numbers and it's just like, okay, yeah, those. I don't have much relative knowledge of that, but just know this, listener: the point of a pitcher is to get people out, right? And
Yep.
this kid so
True.
far in the rookie league is getting people out. So I have no idea. Who knows? You know, they're so young, just like Raniel. But yeah, that's someone who I just was like, oh, as in like when you compare him to his peers,
Yeah.
his numbers are like, oh, what is this guy doing? Like this is exceptional. And there's enough games played where it's not like, oh, he had like 3 exceptional outings and that's all he's really pitched.
Yeah.
He's pitched enough for it to be like, okay, this is a trend. Like he is a good pitcher. So
Right.
That's who I have. Jesus
Okay.
Garcia.
That's a good one. I hadn't heard of that name. Matt, how
And
about you?
I have three names, and I can
Okay.
hit them quick.
Yeah, let's hear them.
The first of which is Tink Hintz.
My old buddy Tink.
Tink is supremely talented guy, but he is running the risk a little through no fault of his own, through his injuries and stuff. He's running the risk of getting passed by some of these kids that are, coming along and they're healthy and they're producing. So
yeah, he is.
I kind of think it's put up or shut up time for Tink. And he was in AAA, and so again, he was right on the cusp of the majors and has unbelievable stuff, and is as talented as any of these guys in terms of strikeouts and all of it. And it really just feels like right now we have 6 or 7 pitchers that you're just like, man, this could really be something here in a couple of years. So that's one. And then the two other I'm going to look at, they're both position players, the Baez boys. Josh Baez, what did they do with him? Does he go up to Memphis? And then Jesus Baez, who we got in the Helsley trade. Yep. I saw he hit his first home run with us. How does he progress? Where does he go? Because, again, if you're talking about, quote unquote, winning the trade, Helsley has not been super good for the Mets. And if this kid can, produce and continue. And also, I will just note quickly, we spent a whole lot of time talking about pitchers on this podcast today. We haven't talked about as many position players, I think, because there are not quite as many outside of JJ. So it'd be nice for both Baezes to take the next step and to give us something, maybe Josh Baez is the kryptonite to Jordan Walker's plot armor. Maybe he's the guy that finally pushes. We're going to need something, we're going to need some bats too.
Absolutely. I mean, I love the Josh Baez thing. You brought our attention to him a couple of weeks ago, and he's stealing bases. He's hitting for power. He's really done something to unlock this, and I wonder if it's just going to Double-A. And Double-A just apparently is just the way to do it, I guess.
Well, just wait till the mystic force of Ronel Rodriguez hits Double-A then, who knows? Yeah. Maybe it's Pujols.
It might be.
Say it again. Say it till it's backwards.
Maybe it's Pujols.
The only other name I want to add to this list is a position player, and it was our second round pick this year, Ryan Mitchell.
Okay, yeah.
So we hadn't talked about Liam Doyle, but I don't think we need to. I think that just is enough said. Yeah, we're ready for him.
He's gonna be good. Yep,
we're gonna watch him. The national writers, everybody thought that we nailed our first 2 picks better than anybody else. Ryan Mitchell's a high school outfielder, but I guess he's insane defensively and can hit the ball really hard. And he's going to be really young. So I expect him to report down to Palm Beach, which is the low-A team, and I assume that's where he's going to be. But watch him. We all know we're kind of starved for like legitimate outfielders. Like it feels like we've had a lot of hit or miss. We're throwing Ivan out there. We're throwing Burley out there. So Ryan Mitchell is a name to look. He's very young, right? High school guy. So that's the other name to look for going forward. So there you go, guys. There's a minor league check-in. Fast risers, who we could see next year in St. Louis, and then who we are personally watching going forward. Speaking of watching going forward, very quickly, we are playing the Pirates and the Reds next week. Quick question: do we care?
I was just real quick.
I mean, we care, but
we care.
I was about to say that my listener, my daughter had cancer when she was 2, and I got a text from there's an organization. It's Friends of Kids with Cancer, and they texted me and were like, "Hey, we have the Tuesday night this coming against the Pirates is the Childhood Cancer Awareness Day at Busch. Would you like to go?"
Oh.
And I called my wife, said, "Can we? What do you think?" Did the email procedure. It was 10 minutes had gone by. I get an email reply later that day saying, "Sorry, all the tickets are gone." I was like, wow, in 10 minutes. So apparently, look for on Tuesday night, look for the Friends of Cancer situation there. Maybe we can see them. Might get a little shout out there. So,
well, I was going to say something negative about them since your family couldn't go, but I really feel like I should not.
Hear that line there, pal.
We're on a wait list. I still might go. I still might go. So we'll see.
I don't want that on me.
All right, yeah. So this decision is in. We do care about these series. Okay, Matt, are you watching for anything on either of these, Reds or Pirates?
Yeah, let me bookend it. Whither art thou, Jordan Walker? It is quite literally one of the only things that matters to me anymore in the season. And if he's going to be supposedly a huge piece of this team going forward, Marmol, you've got to get that man's name in the lineup. You just have to.
Andy, any parting words for us?
Well, put him on the injured list if he's injured. Come on, right?
Or that, yeah.
Couldn't have said it better.
Yeah.
All right, folks, thanks for tuning in to this minor league episode of the Redbird Rundown. Your go-to source for St. Louis Cardinals news. Please subscribe, rate, and review the show as it helps us grow. Follow us on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Facebook for everything about the show. Keep your rally caps on, and let's go Cards.